Years had passed since Joseph became governor of Egypt. The land was now deep in a famine, just as God had warned in Pharaoh's dreams. But Egypt had food, because Joseph had prepared. Back in Canaan, Joseph's father Jacob and his sons were hungry. The brothers sat around with worried looks. The fields were dry. Jacob asked them why they were just sitting looking at each other.
I've heard there's grain in Egypt. Go there and buy some for us, so we don't starve.
It was indeed a difficult time. So, 10 of Jacob's sons traveled to Egypt to buy food. But Jacob kept Benjamin, the youngest, at home. He was afraid of losing him, just like he had lost Joseph years ago. Benjamin was his consolation at the time. When the brothers arrived in Egypt, they bowed before the governor, who was really Joseph, their long-lost brother. But they didn't recognize him. Joseph, however, knew them immediately. As the brothers bowed, Joseph watched them silently, eyes wide, holding back emotion. Joseph asked them sternly, "Where are you from?" And they replied, "From Canaan. We've come to buy food."
"You're spies. You've come to see where our land is weak."
The brothers were shocked and afraid. Reuben pleaded, "No, my lord. We are honest men. We are 12 brothers, the sons of one man. One is no more, and the youngest is with our father." Joseph thought to himself, "They still think I'm gone, but do they regret what they did?" It was an emotional moment, but Joseph hid his emotion. Joseph put them in prison for 3 days. Then he told them, "Leave one of your brothers here. The rest of you can go home with grain.
"But bring your youngest brother back to prove your honesty."
The brothers whispered among themselves, not knowing Joseph could understand their language.
This is happening because of what we did to Joseph. We saw his distress when he begged us, but we didn't listen.
Joseph listened keenly without letting them realize. Then Joseph turned away and wept. He cried silently in a corner, and then composed himself again. He regularly inspected them to know how they were faring. He kept Simeon in Egypt and let the rest return home with their sacks full of grain, and secretly, their money returned. He kept an eye on Simeon. The brothers returned to Jacob and told him everything. When they opened their bags and found their money inside, they were afraid. Jacob, holding the grain, looked worried and lamented, "You've taken Joseph from me, and now Simeon is gone. And now you want to take Benjamin too?"
Everything is against me. I promise I'll bring him back. You can hold me accountable.
So Reuben convinced the father to release Benjamin to him. Eventually, when the food ran out again, Jacob let Benjamin go. The brothers returned to Egypt, fearful but determined. It was another dreadful moment to confront the governor of Egypt. When Joseph saw Benjamin, he was overwhelmed. He invited the brothers to a feast. Still, he didn't reveal who he was. Joseph sat at the head of the table, watching Benjamin with teary eyes. He enjoyed the moment, but with a heavy heart. Joseph gave Benjamin 5 times more food than the others. He wanted to see how the brothers would react. Were they still jealous? But this time, there was no ill reaction from his brothers. Then Joseph tested them again. He hid his silver cup in Benjamin's bag. After they left the city, his steward caught up with them. The steward accused them, saying, "Why have you repaid kindness with evil?"
My master's silver cup is missing.
The brothers were stunned. They hadn't taken anything, but when the cup was found in Benjamin's sack, they tore their clothes in grief and returned to Joseph. Judah fell before Joseph and pleaded,
"Please, my lord, take me instead. Let Benjamin go back to our father. If he doesn't return, our father will die of sorrow."
So, everybody was sorrowful. At that moment, Joseph couldn't hold back anymore. He cried out, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" The brothers were stunned, their eyes wide with shock. They were speechless, terrified, unsure what Joseph would do. Then said Joseph gently, "Don't be afraid. Don't blame yourselves.
God sent me ahead of you to save lives. What you meant for harm, God used for good.
Joseph hugged his brothers, especially Benjamin. He wept with them, and joy filled the room. Joseph and Benjamin embraced. The brothers gathered around, smiling, wiping tears. Joseph, smiling, said, "Go back and bring our father. Tell him everything."
There's still 5 years of famine left. Come and live here where there's food and safety.
It was unbelievable. The brothers returned to Canaan with amazing news. Jacob couldn't believe it. Joseph was alive. And soon, the whole family would be reunited in Egypt. Jacob felt as though he was dreaming. This story reminds us that even when life feels unfair or painful, God can use every moment for something greater. Joseph chose forgiveness instead of revenge. And through his grace, a broken family was made whole again. Maybe you've been hurt, or maybe you've made mistakes. But like Joseph and his brothers, there's always a chance to choose forgiveness, healing, and a new beginning. This was how Jacob's family migrated to Egypt. Watch out for the part 3 of this story. Please subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.